Where's... Alright, okay. She wasn't much of a lover, having never pursued a serious romantic relationship before, and she certainly had no experience with other women in this manner. But Tracer, it seemed, was a pro, and as their mouths connected, Mercy could not help but feel this whole thing was so right. It didn't feel wrong at all, and she wanted more. As the two separated for air, Mercy gasped, "Lena, you... ah!" Sneakily, Tracer had slinked a hand down Mercy's navel and slid underneath the doctor's torn suit, reaching down into her pants. Within moments, the heroine had found the doctor's folds, and found to her delight that they were soaking wet. "Oh, you're really wanting this, Angie," said Tracer, shortly before she began to nibble on Mercy's ear. The gesture made Mercy gasp again in desire, the doctor now grasping her left breast in her own hand, while Tracer continued to fondle her right tit. Mercy's right hand now was holding Tracer's hand in her pants, trying to guide it to her most sensitive spots. But it seemed like wherever Tracer touched, Mercy's sensitivity went crazy. She was just so skilled. "Oh, Lena, but that feels so good. You're so... ah!" Tracer smiled in delight at this, happy that Mercy was enjoying herself so much. Licking her lips, Tracer lifted Mercy's heavy right breast to her mouth. No! And wrapped her lips around the erect nipple, sucking hard on it. And at the same time, her fingers, which had just been teething the folds of Mercy's pussy, plunged into her soaking depths. This made Mercy's eyes shoot wide open, and she almost screamed in joy. "Ah, yes, ah!" Tracer began to chew on Mercy's taut nipple, as Mercy gasped for breath amidst her screams. Holding Mercy's right breast up by her teeth, Tracer slinked her hand around to fondle the left breast, with both of Mercy's hands trying to push Tracer's invasive fingers deeper into her core. Tracer then decided to call on a trick of hers for this kind of flirt. It was kind of fun. The chronal accelerator whirred to life as she triggered its power, accelerating her body to increased speeds. For a moment, Mercy was worried about what Tracer was doing, but then her screams reached a whole new level of intensity. Tracer's hands moved with great speed as the chronal accelerator sped her up. Mercy's enormous breasts bounced about rapidly. As Tracer's right hand rapidly moved between them, squeezing and gripping them so much, Mercy thought they might bruise. As for Tracer's left hand, her fingering sped up to an almost blinding pace. One touch that Mercy was almost unable to catch her breath as she screamed into absolute bliss. Oh God, Lena, I'm going to..." Multiple A's and H's. Mercy wailed loudly as orgasm crashed through her system. Spurts of vaginal fluids burst from her quivering pussy, and, to both Tracer's and Mercy's surprise, jets of thick, creamy milk were beginning to spray from Mercy's huge tit. "What the hell? You you love?" Tracer asked some confusion. Mercy couldn't answer Tracer's question. She was shocked by her massive orgasm. Heavily gasping for air, Mercy fell forward away from Tracer and slumped under her bed. Stop. Right there.
Oh!
Mercy fell forward away from Tracer and slumped onto her bed, lying on her back in a daze. Her breasts were still dripping with milk, but Mercy wasn't in a state of mind to care, her thoughts having nearly poured a whiteout from her intense climax. Sitting next to her, Tracer brought her sticky left hand up and took a small lick of the vaginal fluids that still clung to her fingers. She smiled. Mercy tasted like strawberries, it seemed. "Like that trick, love?" Tracer asked cheekily. Mercy didn't respond, still reeling from Tracer's accelerated fondling. "Maybe I shouldn't have done that one so early. Oh well, we're not done yet. Do you need a minute?" Mercy looked up at Tracer for a moment, still gasping for air, but then she said in a tone of lust, more. She wants more, she says. More. The more you shall
More.
get, Angie. Tracer lowered herself onto all fours as she crawled on the bed toward Mercy. The doctor still in the shreds of her lab coat and her breasts still the size of watermelons. Tracer straddled the doctor's waist as she took those 2 melons in hand again, pinching her nipples and rubbing them in circles. And with each small squeeze, more milk continued to spout out. Ever thought of being a mum, Angie? Trace, I'm not kidding, that is exactly what it says.
Do you know what I'm gonna do? I'm actually gonna drink some more milk right now if we got milk.
That's really inappropriate. Try mayonnaise instead.
Pasta, please.
Fuck. No, I've got no more milk. Or do I? One sec. Yeah, keep reading that.
Okay, guys, I gotta go. My planet needs me, so.
Your planet needs you.
Yeah.
Are you sure it's not your pants?
Ever thought of being a mum, Angie? Asked Tracer as she lowered herself to Mercy's teats and took a quick lick of her breast milk. Ugh. I don't know, Lena, said Mercy. If only our world were a safer place, then perhaps I'm not reading that. Mercy moaned again as Tracer brought the teats together and began to suck on them, drawing precious milk out with each squeeze given to her heavy breasts. It truly did make Mercy feel like a mother at the time, as though she were feeding a baby her milk. This is getting fucked up. It was just that this baby could manipulate her time and had inexhaustible energy. Taking a brief break from suckling on Mercy, Tracer asked, "So, how exactly are you making this stuff? You didn't get knocked up by some lucky bloke recently, did you?" "No, of course not," answered Mercy. It must just be a side effect of the stimulants. Lena, please keep going. Mercy took hold of her massive memories as she said this, urging Tracer to keep suckling her milk. Tracer could only smirk as she realized that this fanfiction was incredibly fucked up.
Fucking puns, man. Fucking puns.
No, that was me. Tracer could only smirk as she dove forward and planted her lips around both Mercy's nipples at once. I'm not reading that. I'll screenshot it though. If anyone else wants to fill in for me. Yeah. For a couple of minutes, Tracer continued to suck Mercy's teats, leading to further moans and gasps from the Swiss doctor.
Some music.
As Tracer stopped for a breather, an idea popped into her head. "Say, Angie, you're still untouched down there, right?" "What?" "I'm asking if you've never had a first time yet, silly." "Oh, no, I haven't yet." "Well, feel free to say no, but I was wondering, as long as we're going at it like rabbits, you don't suppose you'd mind if I was your first?" "Huh? But you're a woman." "Not a problem, love. Be back in a jiff." Within literally 1 second, Tracer had sped off to one side of the room, which Mercy finally noticed had Tracer's duffel bag resting in a corner, and sped back to Mercy. In Tracer's hand was something that shut Mercy's eyes wide open, a strap-on with a rather complex-looking dildo attached to it. "What the? Wait, you carry that in your duffel bag?" Mercy asked in disbelief. Excuse me. "Always be prepared, hee-hee," Tracer answered cheekily. "Never know when I might need some me time." Right. So yeah, it's up to you, but if you're up for it...
Nah,
I could finish.
I can't. This is too much. I don't want to listen to this stuff.
Fucking pussy.
You know why he's leaving, don't you?
No.
Yes.
Why is he leaving?
He has to be his meat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm not even phased by this. I could read this all day. This is great fun.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's all I can hear is just a second is a zip. Yeah, okay. Why would Kenny be disappointed?
Yeah, she's got a dildo prepared. I'm betting. The
A duffel bag.
Yes.
Kenny is Chaser. Oh, she said. It's not prepared. The dildo?
Yeah.
The dildo is not prepared.
Just read everything Kenny says as if it's like in this much.
You prepared your dildo long ago. Well, if we're being honest. Wait, fuck.
Just stick it in there, then we can continue reading.
You're bad at segueing. Oh! Oh, okay. Of course. Well, enjoy. We'll be here all night. It's only 10 o'clock.
It's 11, we're on.
Hello. Welcome.
Oh, Daddy 6, give it to me, baby.
You're like,
Before Tracer could finish, Mercy had grabbed the heroine, pulled her in, and planted a deep kiss to Tracer's mouth. Tracer was a little surprised by Mercy's boldness, but immediately reciprocated the kiss. As they separated, Mercy said in a lustful tone, "Do me, I need you in me." "Really? You sure, love?" "Lena, just shut up and fuck me." "Yes, ma'am." Tracer smiled brightly as she swiftly attached the strap onto her, giving it a little flick with her finger to ensure it was working. This model was actually a top seller on the adult market, as it allowed its user to experience the sensations of putting their fake dick into someone's waiting cunny.
What is this? Some kind of magical wonderland where sex toys are actually bound?
It was a real hit
What is this?
among Futanari fans, and Tracer had used it more than a few times before. That was a swig of whiskey, if you didn't know. Alright, where were we? In the meantime, Mercy was trying to pull herself out of the shreds of her lab coat. But the sweat that clung to her body made the task more difficult than it should have been. Tracer realized the trouble Mercy was having. I really want to play Overwatch right now.
Why?
Yeah. It's my... Hang on. Bear with me. Yeah, my profile is on my Discord profile. On my Battle.net. So just add me. Anyway. Okay. Do you mind if I just rip it off, love? Mercy paused to think for a moment and then said, "Oh, go ahead. It's ruined anyways." Tracer made a few chuckles of appreciation as she grabbed hold of Mercy's suit and tore it open between her legs, revealing Mercy's soaking pussy and drenched panties.
Bombs away!
Bombs away, love. Go for it. Give me that, Willie. I'm not finishing that story. Anyway, I'll finish this one though. Like her bra, they were also a silky white lace, which Tracer opted to push aside rather than tear off. Even if she had already shredded Mercy's lab suit, she didn't have to do the same to her unmentionables. As Tracer lined her fake shaft up with Mercy's
Unmentionables.
waiting
It's not like they're mentioning it all the time.
The heroine looked to the doctor, who gave a nod of permission, and with that, Tracer thrust her way in, and Mercy screamed as loud as she could. "You all right, Angie? Does it hurt?" A little, yes, but please, don't stop now." Hee hee, roger that. With that, Tracer slowly began to pull back, noting the faint blood. You know, there's a fucking popular pattern with all of these fucking Tracers. Like, in any smut, they're all stereotypically British, but I can tell you from experience that is not how the British have sex. Not once in any of my experiences have I referred to my sexual partner as love, or, you know, anything like that. It's just...
I always just go, oh yeah, baby. Please continue,
like, yeah.
baby.
Just before I'm about to have an orgasm, I go, bloody hell.
Right,
Either
mate.
way, go for it.
Cheers, love. The cavalry's here.
Cheers, love. The cavalry's here, and then just let it all go.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Okay, where were we? With that, Tracer slowly began to pull back, noting the faint blood stain on her strap-on as she withdrew. Mercy really was a virgin, at, like, in her 30s, or something.
Like,
Fuck, mate.
she just told you. But
Yeah.
just like, I'm a virgin. Oh,
Oh,
so
okay.
you are a virgin.
You're a 40-year-old virgin. She's 37. Is she actually 37?
I have no idea.
Kenny put 37. I'm assuming this was... What? You're fucking kidding me. There's no way she's a virgin. Come on now. Mercy really was a virgin, and the realization only spurred Tracer onward as she slammed back into Mercy's pussy, releasing another scream of desire from the doctor. Within moments, Tracer established a steady rhythm of thrusts that began to drive Mercy to heights of pleasure she had never known before. Mercy was stunned by how good this all felt. Oh, you're kidding me, man. 37 and a virgin. Fuck. Yeah. Mercy was stunned by how good this all felt. Tracer was so deep inside of her, and whoever had designed her strap-on had clearly done a good job. Despite being artificial. Yeah. Despite... We'll explain the imp skin then. Yeah, thinking. Despite being artificial, it was almost as if she could feel the faux shaft pulsing within her. Each hard thrust from Tracer made Mercy's unconstrained breasts bounce and jiggle, with trickles of breast milk slowly... Excuse me. Oh, you got your video?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh. I'm not quite sure what's going on with the aspect ratio, but we'll figure that out later.
Yeah, it has to load. If you post your video to YouTube, it has to load 1080p first. It has to realize that you're on video 1080p, and then it loads that resolution.
Anyway, the video is good though. Well, I'll teach you some more editing stuff after this.
Yeah. Tomorrow I have bunches of time.
Alright, yeah, so do I.
Oh yeah, and that Thunder guy asked if tomorrow we could do his recruitment thing because he's really looking forward to it.
Alright, yeah. No.
Oh, someone to get through the grinder. Excellent.
Each hard thrust from Tracer made Mercy's unconstrained breasts bounce and jiggle, with trickles of breast milk still leaking down her gigantic globes.
Wait, what? Could you repeat that sentence?
Excuse me?
Could you repeat that sentence? Didn't you just say something about breast milk, but she's a word? Could you elaborate? I don't quite understand.
I'll send you the story. I'll send you
Bad writing.
It's fan fiction. Don't ask. I'll repeat the sentence though if you really want it. She reached for Mercy's boobs. Oh wait, is that? Oh, here we go. With each hard thrust from Tracer made Mercy's unconstrained breasts bounce and jiggle, with trickles of breast milk still leaking down her gigantic globes. Tracer, on the other hand, couldn't get enough of how tight Mercy was. The strap-on she wore let her feel the sensation of Mercy's vaginal walls clutching hard around the artificial cock. A feeling she swore she would never get tired of. She hadn't had the time for sex in a good while now, and now that she was fucking Mercy, she didn't want to stop. She reached for Mercy's boobs and gave the swollen mounds a hard squeeze, to which Mercy made another shout of desire that Tracer took as a sign to continue. Lena, you're so good. Harder, harder. Can you say pretty, please? Please, Lena. I want you to fuck me harder. That's more like it. Now let's get to the good part. Once again, as Tracer brought herself upright and grasped Mercy's hips, her coronal accelerator spun to life as her body accelerated. This time, Tracer's thrusts increased in speed, moving so fast that Mercy felt like she was being torn apart. And it felt so good that she could not stop screaming at the top of her lungs. Oh, Lena! Oh, Lena! It's so good! Loving it, are you, Angie? That's not what I'd imagine in this situation. Can you play that again? Just play. Hold on, let me just.
What the fuck, mate?
Play the Wilhelm scream.
Screaming. Loving it, aren't you, Angie? You and me both. You're so tight. Lena, I'm gonna. Ah! Mercy screamed as tears of joy streamed down her face. And then again, surging in a climax. Spurts of vaginal fluids began to squirt from her pussy as Tracer continued thrusting at hyperspeed.
This is legit the best thing to listen to while you're shooting zombies.
But as Mercy's insides clenched around the faux cock attached to Tracer, she found the pleasure overwhelming. Angela! Tracer howled as she came with it as well. Tracer's spandex was soon soaked between her legs. A mixture of both Mercy's juices and Tracer's own orgasm. The heroine's body shook as she struggled to remain upright, her climax leaving her about to collapse. A second later, Mercy, who was screaming from her second orgasm, made a short choking sound as she felt something spray from Tracer's strap-on into her womb. But the orgasm had left Mercy so exhausted that she couldn't even voice in protest to Tracer somehow coming inside her. Her vision swam before her as Tracer collapsed on top of her enormous bosom, and Mercy found herself drifting off again into unconsciousness. Chirping birds signaled the new day as Mercy stirred from her sleep. She felt sore all over, especially within her core. The memories of the past night a blur for her. But as her consciousness returned, she remembered the time Tracer had given her. Looking down at herself, Mercy saw that she was now stark naked between her sheets, and, to her relief, her breasts had shrunk back to their normal size. It seemed the effects were only temporary. But then she remembered the moment right before she blacked out. Tracer had released something inside of her. Mercy's hand went to her navel, almost in a fit of panic. Morning, love. Mercy abruptly turned to face Tracer. The heroine was dressed far more casually than she had been last night. Her spandex replaced by a large nightshirt and nothing else besides her coronal accelerator harness. Good morning, Lena, Mercy said in response. Have a good sleep, Angie. You could say that. Is something wrong? Lena, I really enjoyed last night, but you? Mercy didn't finish. They said placing a hand to her navel in a gesture to show what she was talking about. Oh, you're worried about getting knocked up. Don't fret, love. It was just water. I fill that thing subsidized from the tap just to make the end feel better. Hearing this, Mercy sighed loudly in relief. She wasn't ready to be a mother yet. Sorry if I speak. Okay. Sorry if I spooked you, Angie. I'll ask next time. Stop. Next time? Of course. That was some of the best snogging I've had in a while. You've got to figure out how to repeat that, big boobs and all. Mercy couldn't find anything to say to Tracer's request, instead only laughing nervously as her face turned a bright red. Oh, Tracer, you lovable spunky thing. I look forward to playing her in May during the Overwatch Open Beta. I'm going to leave a review. I just read this to a group of... How many people are here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Yeah, Count North Star. She was here half the time. Yep.
Hey guys, it's me.
Posting a review. Posting a review.
Well, that's done. I'm gonna drink some bleach now. Have a nice day.
I'm posting this review, fucking.
It was a really beautiful story. I love your voice.
10 out of 10.
Can I pay you to read me something in private?
Sure, yeah.
Oh. Nice, I think about something.
Proxy, you're muted. What a surprise. Someone can give me another Yuri story. I'm feeling Yuri tonight. Give me any anime. Yeah. Yeah, you can just make like videos out of it.